Free Japan channel number 13. Today, November 20th, Monday, here in Yokohama. Time is 6 p.m. Late autumn, and the sky is already dark. The night has begun today. Dear listeners, how are you doing? I'm Matsumoto speaking. Here in Japan, the temperature is roughly 15 degrees Celsius. So compared to the beginning of autumn, it's pretty cold. But the sky is very clear in this season. And I'm always looking forward to the next day's weather. Today's topic is Japan Communist Party, JCP, Japan Communist Party. Have you ever heard of Japan Communist Party? Or are you a bit surprised that in Japan there is a Communist Party? Yes, there is. And this Japan Communist Party, JCP, was established in 1922. So, more than 100 years had passed since this establishment. So, in Japanese political arena, JCP is the oldest party now. So, it has a long tradition. But before the war, Japan Communist Party was illegal here in Japan. So it was prohibited to be engaged in this party, and if someone participated in this party or active in this party, then he was likely to be arrested by the authority. So there were many communists who were arrested and had to spend their youth in prison during the war, or unfortunately, some lost their lives in the police detention, maybe by the torture by the police. After the war, JCP was re-established, and at that time, some of the fraction of JCP aimed at violent revolution here in Japan, so 1940s or 1950s. But gradually, another fraction which aims at peaceful seizure of politics by the democratic procedure has dominated. And now, JCP is composed of this democratic fraction. If Japan Communist Party had chosen another option, that is, the violent revolution movement, then it would have disappeared long ago, because Japanese government didn't allow such movement. It was anti-government movement. So here in Japan, there is a law to ban the movement to turn over the government. So anti-subversive law would have collapsed the Japan Communist Party if JCP persisted in the revolution. But wisely, JCP converged into the peaceful movement, and through the electoral battle against another parties, it tried to increase their influence in the Japanese diet. in the 1970s or 80s, JCP has seen its pinnacle. So the seats in the Diet increased roughly 40 seats in the Japanese Diet. It was about 8% of the Diet. So this was something. But in 1989, the Berlin Wall broke down, and after that, many European socialist countries collapsed. And finally, the Soviet Union disappeared in 1991, and a new Russia has come into being. At that time, JCP was also said to disappear soon from Japanese scene, but JCP tenaciously stick to Marxism, and at the same time, they continued to gain their influence, political influence, through the election, not violence, nor revolution. Of course, JCP has reduced its influence in 2010, but still here in Japan, JCP has 3 or 4% of the Diet seats. So JCP has still some influence on Japanese politics. And they discarded violent revolution policy. And now JCP aims at gaining political majority by the election. Of course, as I said, 3% or 4% is not enough to gain the majority. But Japanese communists have the very long-term perspective. So if not their generation, but in the next or another next generation would fulfill this dream of communism. Japan is a highly advanced technological country, and in this country, this Marxism sounds very curious, especially for foreigners. But this is the case here in Japan. And JCP is of course Marxist party, but they object to the tax increase, for example, or protection of the laborers' working condition. So their policy, JCP's policy, is sometimes very beneficial to the Japanese society. So we can't deny its role, JCP's role, in the political arena here in Japan. So hopefully JCP will not gain the majority in Japanese Diet, which will never be realized. But the existence of this kind of party should be allowed or even encouraged, because these parties can offer the alternative to the policy of majority parties, now LDP. Japan Communist Party is in the state of changing from the rigorous Marxism to the mild social democracy party, social democratic party. So in this transition, the JCP has taken off the communist atmosphere. So perhaps in the future, the JCP would be more acceptable or more affordable here in Japanese society. Thank you.